Hello, and thank you for watching. This is a warning for this episode. If you would like to turn down the resolution on your monitor to near zero, it will enhance your viewing experience for today's episode.
There might be some bright flashing jerseys, and this might not be the best experience for those who have visual impairments or issues with flashing.
I'd even say pregnant women probably shouldn't watch
Just well,
Young
this
children,
episode.
just be
And
careful.
if you were into that whole eclipse thing a couple of years ago, grab those glasses and just wrap them around your head for this for extra protection.
in fact, just wrap a towel around your head, and that's the best way to watch this. Just like cover the eyes,
Yeah.
like a wet cloth.
Yeah, it'll help with the burns afterwards. Thank you, and have a safe flight.
Welcome back, sports fans, to another episode of Ugly Thirds. Today's topic is the 2019 Stadium Series. What's in a game? John Trump, take it away.
And now that your ears have been blown off by Phil shouting for the first time ever,
Here's the eyes.
a wet towel right there, right there.
A nice cooling effect. My God, what were they thinking? That should have been the title of this episode. What's in a game? No. Strike through. What were they thinking?
I mean, obviously the idea is, what if we didn't have any white in the jersey? I'm pretty sure that this is the same time when the NFL was playing with the color rush games, where they were
You
just
might
like
be right.
right in one color. Phil, you want to look at that year?
Do you remember that they had to
Jets
issue
Bills.
an apology
Yeah,
after
well,
the
because
Jets
it was
Bills game?
all red versus all green, and
Right.
red-green colorblind was a real issue for
Right.
watching that game. Um,
Luckily, it was Jets Bills before the Bills were good, so nobody
I
was
mean,
watching
yeah,
anyway.
The Jets still suck. But anyways, continue.
yeah, I mean, there was a lot like the Jaguars in all mustard, and the Titans in bright blue.
2015.
Oh, because it was well, like the NHL, like in most things, was late to the party.
That justifies it's even better.
So, thing is, these sold very well in Pittsburgh.
Cannot
Finding them,
Find these.
in fact, I'll get into some unique things between Fanatics and Adidas, and if you can find an Adidas below 300, drop it in the comments. I need it. And then this I ended up finding for $25 on Macari. So you can find more of these.
You overpaid.
I needed it for this episode. Is the only reason I got it. It's so bright, and it's not the normal Philly, or it's not any of the normal Philly oranges.
No.
Um,
This is not the burnt orange, nor is it this orange right here.
it's highlighter orange.
This is the highlighter game, and I think we have to refer to it as such.
And I mean, it's one of the few times they actually changed the Philly logo. Because again, there's no white. There's no shoulder stripe. Okay, so they were trying to do like the shoulder stripes are orange, so this is they're all it's there, but they didn't, and so it just makes a very bland Philly jersey. Not that when we went to what Lehigh Phantom, Lehigh Valley Phantoms, is that
The
they have the name
Phantoms,
right?
yeah.
Phantoms, yeah.
There were a ton of these in the audience. People did like them apparently. Haven't seen them in Philly, but
You
elsewhere.
can get these if you wanted 12 of them by the end of next week. You could get them off of eBay because some guy is mass selling them at $49.
Except they're too small. Tiny one from Mike.
Well, yeah, they're like 46s,
Yeah.
and lower. And these look, this honestly, you make this a normal logo, I'd make this a third jersey, and not question. Like if they weren't, because this was not on the table yet, and this is the third everyone wanted because people love this script for reasons.
Right.
I would have taken this in a heartbeat.
But no whites. What a unique approach to a jersey design.
It certainly is something different.
You
Color v color.
right. You add even I don't know, accent white marks here, maybe some striping. It bumps it up significantly. It doesn't have to be a lot. But even the number kit here, on that one, it would be all black.
It's all jet black, and it doesn't help the contrast much. I mean, this at least it was gold. I think just because of what the color schemes are, and the fact that they adjusted this orange to be much darker.
Yeah.
If this was the normal Philly orange, I think this would have been fine.
Yeah.
I think with just the natural contrast between black and gold, this is much better as a jersey.
For sure.
And probably why it sold better.
One caveat from this game: I don't have a laundry list of grails But if there were three that I'd want, two or three would be the warm-up jerseys from this game, where
Oh,
they had the Keystone inlays and the numbers. What a stunning
I mean,
jersey
that
that
logo
is.
in general, I wanted to find it on a hat because I saw the team, the players wore them. It's a keystone and it has Pitt inside
Yep.
in stencil,
Yep.
and it's a brilliant Yinzer Pittsburgh at the same time Pennsylvania pride. Like I would wear the crap out of that hat, and it doesn't exist.
But
I think they made it for the team.
what does it say about these two when the warm-up jerseys outperform them
And
aesthetically?
they genuinely did. Like that would have been far more interesting to use that.
100%.
Even
And
if
I
they made a
don't.
Keystone PHI and did do both and make
Yeah.
it a Keystone, like really lean into the Keystone thing even more than they did.
You have something unique. You have a rivalry that is maybe the one of the best in the league that nobody really talks about.
It's completely consistent. It
Yeah.
is always. I mean, like there was a long time where Philly was trashing Pittsburgh on a regular basis. In the Penguins' best games DVD set, when they finally beat Philly in the like mid '90s for the first time in 20 years or whatever, like that's in that game set. Like it goes deep. It all right. So let me get a little historian
All right, you
on
go
here.
there.
This rivalry, all right, between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia,
Yeah.
goes back to Proclamation Line 1763. All
Are
right.
you talking about for Stanwicks?
Well, obviously you're talking about. Hold your horses. All right.
Hold your gun bands.
Go get a buggy.
I
So
love the look on his face right now. It's like he's just
he's heard this too many
he's
times.
heard this
He knows.
entirely too many times.
All
This
right.
is
All
the
right. So
bedtime story of all Pittsburghers, okay?
following the French and Indian War, the 7 Years' War to the Europeans, that Britain gains control of the American colonies, sets a proclamation line as the western boundary. No one's allowed to move past it because that's not British territory. They're leaving that to the tribes, and they don't want problems.
Mhm.
On the other side of that line is what is now Pittsburgh, the forks of the Ohio River, that we fought over, that George Washington killed Ensign Jumonville to start the whole war. So American colonists fought and died in that land that we're not allowed to live in. And you think Americans like being told what to do? No, we never have. So all these proto-Yinzers moved out there living illegally among the forests, while out in Philadelphia they're artsy-fartsy making their Liberty Bells and whatnots, designing declarations. We're carving our way hewn through the forest, and that's the rivalry between white-collar Philly and blue-collar Pittsburgh ever since.
May I? May I? If I could jump forward several hundred years, it's the Sheets versus Wawa argument, and Sheets is far superior, like a far superior.
Oh, that's a big claim.
No,
There's yeah. And actually, they play nice though. They do.
We are in one of those estuaries where both exist. We are in a rare spot.
Well, for a while, neither one existed.
Yeah.
7-Eleven really held this
That's
ground,
true.
and now both of them are popping out all over the place.
I split the difference. I think Sheet's menu is way better, and Wawa's food quality is way better.
Oh wow!
Because you look at Wawa, there's only a handful of things that, like at any given time, their menu is more limited, but their gobbler stuff to die for. Their mashed potatoes, unbelievably good.
Even sweet potatoes, yeah.
Whereas Sheets, you can get like 4 dozen types of hoagies and stuff that Wawa just doesn't bother with. So even I make that distinction.
It's a different approach, and
If I had to do it every day, I'd have to go to Sheets just because it's much wider range
I think our biggest takeaway today is that we've talked more about sandwiches
than these ugly
than
jerseys.
these.
I will throw in one other jersey. Hold on. I got one more thing. One more thing, and I'm going to need Jersey Cam. We're going to pray it works. There is something extremely unique about these.
Go ahead, tell me where I'm pointing at.
So we're going to start with the Flyers
jerseys,
logo.
Phil.
Obviously, it's a Jersey Cam. All right, so way in. Get way in here. I mentioned this before. Okay, so they're
Vanta Black.
striping. The stitching is not a zigzag. For the
Triple.
only time, I'm going to have to get out the flashlight.
So you can see it.
Can you?
Oh.
Yeah.
The
There it
contrast.
is. Oh,
You
very
see how
nice.
the striping, there's 3 of them here on Philly, and they're all parallel. Pittsburgh, I'm going to have you switch to Pittsburgh because I have a lot more on this one. You can see that it's a double zigzag. Or it's not a zigzag, it's a double 2 parallel stitches. That has not been on anything else. Now, I'm going to have you go to the slideshow in a moment, but I need to set this up. So back to me. Good.
Okay.
So I went to the Hockey Hall of Fame over the summer, and if you paid attention on the channel, I filmed a lot. Well, I ran out my phone battery, and then I plugged in the food court outside and charged it up, and then I ran out my phone battery a second time. And then in trying to plug in the Hall of Fame, trying to get enough for this picture, they actually had to ask me to leave. They're like, sir, we need to close. Which should tell you something about me as a human. But I did go back the next day, and they were nice enough.
Sir, though.
Well, yes.
They didn't know any better.
Well, they're Canadians. They're very nice. They were very nice about the whole thing. They did not have to let me do that. I went back and I got the photo the next day. And Phil, if you could show this slide, because I needed this for when I send one of these to EPS, and I need to find the Adidas one because I need to do it correctly. Look at how many. So not it's triple stitched on the Adidas, and a zigzag around the outside, and the numbers are the same way. There's a triple stitch in the number plus the zigzag around it. I have never seen that in anything else.
The stitch also comes down past the skate of the penguin.
Right. You're right, and it does on this. You're right. But so whenever you see these customized, don't get it unless it has those parallel stitches, because it's not right.
And when you send that away, you can specify in the note to On Ice specs, and they'll do it.
They
probably did the stitching for this game.
And so that's what I need to find the Adidas. Like I'm sitting on this one because I need the Adidas one, and I don't want to pay $400.
That's fair.
Want to hear a conspiracy theory before we wrap up? Why these suck so badly? Because they were really shooting to do this game at Beaver Stadium, to do the actual Battle of PA in the middle of the state, do that more like a Quaker jersey, so the color kind of matches more. And then they couldn't do it because there was some Penn State, you can't have alcohol. That's what it was. The alcohol.
I think they changed that since.
And I think they changed it since.
Where is that story buried in the?
No, I'm just saying. Like I feel like there's some, because they've been begging to do one at Beaver Stadium. I mean, it'd be the third largest game ever.
Yeah, it'd be huge.
Yeah, it'd be huge. And there was an issue with that, and that's why it was one in Pittsburgh, one in Philly. And I was like, I think just because that looks like more of the Quaker jersey. Like, you could really, and that still could be a thing, maybe. So, NHL, you know you love Pittsburgh in your outdoor games.
That's true.
That's true. You guys deserve like 6 more, don't you?
So, we have our overall ranking and where we've been on this.
Phil, you got jersey cam? Point it at the floor, because that's where this is going to go. I'm placing it down here. Can you see it down there?
No, I can see a monitor. I can see John's hands.
Okay.
Well, this is awkward. Just assume it's down there.
All right. So, the best that I can do is down here.
I think that's a very safe one. Look, are there ones that I think are more hideous as a jersey design? Yes. Are there ones that hurt your eyeballs more? No, I don't think there are.
No, it was far too abrasive. I mean, something had to be down here. And I think this is a safe play just based on the idea that you've created 2 jerseys that teams wear for a special event. And granted, it's Stadium Series. They're supposed to be concept based.
Yeah.
But there's no white, and you add a little bit of white into these. A little bit of white.
Well, and that and tone down the Flyers orange. Like make it their proper orange, and I think it's a win.
Is this the Quakers orange?
Trying to find something like that out that far back, just in natural fading of the ones that do exist, it's hard to say.
That's fair.
Hard to say.
That's fair.
So. That's our ranking. Tell us what you think. What did we miss? Tell us about the whole Philly-Pittsburgh thing, and if you buy either of our theories.
And tell us where you gas up. Sheets or Wawa.
Yes, that's more important. Probably more important. All right, blow up those comments. He's Shrimps. I'm John. Phil, take us out. And that.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the bell to get notifications when new videos get posted, and tune in for another episode of Ugly Thirds.
Ian G-Chet. You go get some jumbo. Go downtown, get it from John Nickel. And that?
Permanis?
Oh, you go to Permanis now. That's a good choice. Yeah, Permanis sandwich.